Ishanvi. I am 12 years old. I have been doing coding at Unbound for 11 months. I started with game development using JavaScript, and I'm currently doing code Python. Christmas is nearing and bells are ringing, so I made a Christmas tree program using Python. Let me show you my program. Now let's take a look at the code. But in the first two lines, I imported a module called Colorama. Then from the module Colorama, I imported another module called For. And then using the module For, I printed Merry Christmas in the color blue. Then I created a function called Pyramid, which printed these green pyramids. It's to create the Christmas tree. And then we used a nested while loop for this to create the pyramid program. In the outer while loop, we printed the spaces. Spaces is the number of rows, which is k, minus the number of stars in each row, which is I. Okay. So in the first row, so how many rows does this pyramid have? It has 8 rows. So in the first row, there's 1 star. How many spaces is in the first row? There are 7 spaces, which is the number of rows minus the number of stars, which is 8 minus 1 equals 7. And then in the next row, there are 2 stars. So that row has how many spaces? It has 6 spaces, which is 8 minus 2 equals 6, and so on. And then in the first inner while loop, we printed the spaces, and the number of spaces decreases by 1 and in each row, thus making this pyramid. In the second inner while loop, we printed the stars using the module for.green, which made the stars green. And we increased the number of stars by 1 in each row. Next, we created a function called rectangle to print the trunk of the Christmas tree. We used a nested for loop for this. The first for loop is for the number of rows in the trunk, and the inner for loop is for the number of columns in the trunk. We used the module for.red to print the trunk of the Christmas tree in red color. Just creating the code in the function does not get executed until you call the function. So we called the function pyramid 3 times to create this pyramid 3 times. And we passed on the number 8 to the parameter k, which printed it with 8 rows. Then we called the function rectangle, and we didn't pass any information since the function rectangle does not have any parameters. And it printed this tree trunk. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video.